All right, so now we're gonna get high with high level play.
Oh, okay.
So right now we're gonna act like we didn't just record an entire other episode before this. So when you get high and you start playing high level characters and you're getting real 420 blaze at high.
Hopefully I'm in a legal state.
Yeah, right.
I mean, whichever. It's only illegal if you get caught.
420 YOLO.
There's definitely pros and cons to playing high level things. The best part, I think, is your fucking your Superman.
Yeah.
Your powers.
You're basically the Avengers.
Yep. You're a group of people that go, what do I want to do? I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't even think about what you're doing at level 5 or level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you might have been able to cast, like, I don't know, flare or some shit.
Flare.
And now it's like,
I'm busting out Wish.
Earthquake under the city and destroying, cities.
You get to the big bad
Destroying
boss,
families.
and then the sorcerer's just like, oh, I cast Wish, he's dead.
I wish that he was dead.
I wish that he was
and
dead.
dies.
It was fun with my first game. My first D&D game was me being 5th level and everyone else being epic.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there fighting like a giant, like super hard boss, and like everyone, like I'm standing back. 'Cause, if he even sneezes at me, my dude's gonna turn into fucking powder.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like sitting there like throwing their best stuff at it, like they're not doing any damage. And one guy is like literally sitting at the table going, "All right, I guess I'm gonna use Wish," and he's gonna go away. And he's like, "Yeah." That 40th challenge rating thing gets sucked into a vacuum when he dies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right.
Was that Ben?
Fun. No, that was Carl. That was when Ben was campaign or doing the DMing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just kind of go, and he was gone.
And I guess,
good.
I guess one of the cons of that is the prep time on the DM.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really have to think about, like, how can I challenge these people?
It's so hard.
It really can be for high level, because I'm sure there's been times in the current campaign that we're playing now, as we're all about 15 and 16th level.
Fairly high level, yeah.
We're fairly high level. We're at the start of the final tier, and like I imagine there are some things that we just blow through, and then there's other things that we do have a lot of trouble in.
Literally,
it probably wouldn't have been as hard if I didn't play like a psionics and a non. Spellcaster.
No, it wouldn't have been as hard if you weren't evil. Yeah.
It would have been it would have been harder for me to. A lot of the challenges, I was like, all right, well, he's just gonna do this, so I'm just gonna throw out all this stuff. So I'm sitting there. My vision for the campaign is that they're gonna go and like set traps and do ambushes. No, they're not. They're gonna have their fucking scion friend blow holes in mountains
with no stealth check at all.
Walking around in heavy armor, literally being a tank going.
Yeah. If anybody gets close to him, one of our characters just runs up, kills them.
Yep.
We basically play defense while he does offense.
It's not a bad strategy.
Not a bad strategy.
It's a good use of party cohesion.
Mm-hmm.
I do remember I almost died on the first session through like some kind of sand shark.
Oh, the brulette.
This was the very start of the campaign, so he was only level 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was pretty vulnerable at the moment, and I almost got one-shotted, I think.
Yep, the thing like jumps up and crits you.
Yeah, and then I was like, holy crap, Alans have this crazy feat that lets him take a crap load of damage.
And just like fucking tank it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's OP as hell, by the way.
It is.
But I mean, we've seen how like varied you can have that challenge be. In like just even 2 different sessions, which was one where you guys are trying to break into the place, and you guys are sitting there losing guys left and right. You lost your barbarian, he dies. Good thing he was frenzied, because then he just sprinted in. And I just at that point the player left, so I'm just sitting there rolling and seeing like what damage he does, and he was just fucking slaughtering everything at that point. Was. But it's like a thing of like when you just have something that's slightly more like what is that word? When you have like a thing that's actually unified and like having a cohesive. When you have an enemy that has a cohesive tactic, it can just like fucking shut you guys down.
It really can.
But then as soon as you guys had the drop and you guys busted in, you guys like literally like it was almost monotonous at a point where you guys are going and clearing and stuff. It's like, and you guys are killing everything.
And since my caster is dead, and I'm mostly just playing like a tank. He's just kind of walking along, just watching everyone die.
He's just walking, bing, 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 bing. Just watching everything die around him.
Riven's just going up there, cleave, 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 cleave. Cleave, cleave, cleave.
And the next thing you guys probably fight is going to be a really tough fight because they're actually going to be ready for you.
Oh God.
So
well, they know we're coming, and that's the problem. I was like trying to think of ways that we could even try to sneak in there. I'm like, wait a minute, we just assaulted the front of the base. They already know we're coming.
Yeah.
There's explosions.
There's explosions. There's a big ass explosion at the front.
Yep.
There's a guy shooting cannon.
Just walking up. Poof.
So yeah, there's always the issue with once you hit higher levels and you have to fight the higher level monsters, it comes to either that the characters or the players are either going to get one-shotted, or they're going to get so frustrated with the fact that they have to do 6,000 points of damage to kill this thing that it's not going to be fun. So it's always hard trying to find that.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's the struggle because I love me some good Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So, like, I just love the challenge. I love it all. Like, just throw it at me, man. I have a character. Let's do this.
And sometimes you kind of have to think about, like a high-level character, like, their place in the world. Like a 20th level guy walking around in the city is going to be way different than a level 1 guy walking around in the city.
Yeah.
Like, the level 1 guy is just, like, your average dude. He works at the dollar store down the street. Or this level 20 dude is, like... This is like a demigod walking through the city.
Yeah.
He can destroy us all within a second. How do we...
They had a lot more rules in I guess the first couple editions where like once you're like at 12th level, I think like you got a castle because at that point your dude should be, like one of the best fighters in the fucking world.
Yeah.
Because in that kind of thing, it's like there aren't like at that point there wasn't a whole bunch of adventurers and parties running around like saving the world. Like it was the characters. That's who was the saviors of the world. And I hope I kind of touched on that at least with the Flat World campaign, where everyone knows Kryn. Yeah. Because he makes himself known and everyone hears of him.
Yeah. Everybody knows Nexus, sort of.
Everyone knows of Nexus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea is that like once you've gotten to that place, you want to be known for being in that place. Yeah. Your characters should be your characters are a force of nature and they should be treated like that.
The only time like I would say that doesn't happen is when the character like goes out of his way to make sure he is not known.
Yeah. And at that point you as a DM you gotta wonder if they do or not.
I would say the only thing that would really be able to find Zed character that is like super stealthy and gets away with everything because it's just that badass would be, there's some magic dude or some sorcerer that's been spying you this whole time with his divination magic or something. He knows of you. Yeah. So I would say even if you're trying to stay under the radar of everybody, someone would still know about you because you're just so badass.
Yeah, once you've gotten the thing okay, who came into this Thieves Guild and literally slaughtered them all and left no trace? Yeah. I'm a powerful wizard and I know powerful wizard friends. We're going to get to the bottom of this. Yeah. Whether you like it or not. Sorry, your dude's 20th level rogue and just is walking around doing whatever he wants. At a certain point, people are going to try to figure out what's happening.
Someone's going to stop you.
Which is what happened. Once you become that powerful, you get arrogant. And once you become arrogant, you start making enemies.
Power.
I still say Neo's gonna show up at the last minute and just kill us all.
Something like that could be in the works.
Something like that could be in the works. It's definitely in the works. I already know it.
Anything's possible.
Because once you're that high level, and you start trying to be the puppet master, you gotta make sure you're the master. Otherwise, people are gonna come for you, and most of the time, they're not going to be okay with you just being dead. Yeah. That's the last, when you're a high-level wizard and, somebody kills you, the party better make sure they get your corpse. Or, I mean, hell, if you're a high-level anything, party better make sure they brought your corpse. Otherwise, somebody's going to find that corpse, and they're going to have a fucking powerful undead ally on their side.
Resurrection.
Resurrection. reincarnation. If you can somehow, like, I mean, DM hand waving, like, I can control the reincarnation. They're gonna go into this body. Yeah. I'm gonna raise it as my own.
Yeah, you have the whole can of worms to open. Like, how can I make a wish? You know, how can I make the wording of a wish turn against someone or do something not intended?
Yeah.
Or do you just let it, you know, just sap away this boss that you took like hours to prep and make?
That would definitely be the thing that I would try to do. Like, once you're hitting those high levels and you start throwing out, like, I wish this guy wasn't here. It's like, all right, cool. He's not there. He's there. Yeah.
And one thing as a DM that we've actually played, our buddy Ethan, in his world there is no wish. Because he's seen that happen. He's seen this mega boss lich comes down and throws 10 fireballs at you. Wish. He's gone. Mm-hmm. It's like, you know what, I'm just going to take that out of my world. It doesn't exist.
Yep. Or even resurrection takes away all threat of dying.
Yeah, they tried to make it... D&D tried to make like that be a hard thing to do by saying that there's not that many people that can do it or it costs a lot of money.
I mean, but all you gotta really do is be a cleric.
Yeah, once you're high enough level to do it, like, you're also high enough level to afford it, really. Yeah. And it comes to DM to give you those constraints, but then it's hard to do so when your dude is world renowned. Like, they'll find the funds, more or less. Like, right now, I think literally the hunters have more money than they actually know if they have.
Yeah, we don't we don't even know what to do.
I've really just been writing it down and adding it on, but I don't really understand the true value of it.
Yeah, you just have money.
Yeah, we just have shit tons of money.
Because there's nothing, like, there's no magic, there's nothing for you to spend it on.
Yeah,
not really. I need to buy a cat.
I know Riven's one that if Riven survives the end of the campaign, then Riven's gonna go out and he's gonna build a bunch of, like, safe zones outside of Sanctuary. Mm-hmm. That's what he's going to spend all of his money on.
Those are the kind of things you can do when you get to that high enough level. Mm-hmm. Retire.
Yep.
Like, I guess, really any...
Never retired a character, by the way.
Nope, I haven't either. But I've had characters go away through my own means.
Mm-hmm. Talk about Jufrey.
Jufrey, yeah.
Man.
Got a bounty on his head.
Another monster of a character, man.
He got a bounty on his head, and I was like, well, I don't want the other players to get this, so I'm going to get it.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to make a new character.
I made a character specifically to kill him, which I kind of wish I hadn't done in hindsight, because it was very cheap. It's not very fun.
Yeah.
But hopefully I at least, like, made a compelling enough reason and a character for it.
Yeah.
Nah, it's not for me to know.
It was fun. And that was our evil campaign, which did actually get up to a higher level.
Did it?
Yeah,
I don't think it got past 10.
No, it did.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't have a character. Oh, yeah, I guess he did get pretty high, did he?
Yeah, I got to 14.
Yeah.
And that was with a +4 level adjustment. It was, technically it was effective level 18.
Yeah.
So do you guys like the, like, later stages of a campaign more, like the high level aspect of it, or do you like more of the kind of low to mid range?
I think my favorite aspect is always I would say, like, just after what I would call, like, the first arc. Mm-hmm. Like, you've done the feeling out process of the world and your character, and now you've kind of settled in, and you know what your guy can do and what the world will allow you to do. And it hasn't gotten to the point where it's, like, such high... Because the way I always see it, it's always like you start off really small to where it's like kind of monotonous. Like, I want my guy to be a hero, and then he kind of becomes the hero, but then he has to fight gods and stuff like that. To where it's like, this is kind of over my head, even as a player. To where it's like I don't feel in control of my character anymore, because to be fair, you can't be in control of somebody who's as powerful as he is.
Yeah,
like you have to have some sort of a railroad, otherwise you end up with, cross crew, where he does whatever he wants, and it, at least maybe even for, if you're not on board with what half the party wants to do, then you're kind of just going to be sitting there like, all right, I guess we'll start another town, and I guess we'll go fight another lich, like that.
It's not a big deal, bro.
Yeah, I guess we'll do that. Maybe.
I think I like right at the beginning of the final tier. So like let's say 13, like the 14 area.
Mm-hmm.
I like that just because that's like this usually about the start of where we end a campaign. Like this is the final act.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything you've done is boiled up to these like last 12 sessions or 10 sessions or however long you have it. And for me it's like that final climax.
Right.
So that's what I usually like.
Yeah, I kind of. This might not really be an answer, but I kind of like both very beginning, like level 1,
Mm-hmm.
and the end, or
Yeah.
I guess right before the end, like the final boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
But like at level 1, you can't really do anything, and you have to use your creativity and imagination a little bit more in what you
Yeah.
do. Because if you're super high level, you're like, yeah, I'll, Neo, for example, I'll mind control this guy and make him do this thing for me.
Yeah.
But if I'm level 1, I'm like, well, I gotta come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Persuasion check maybe, or
Yep.
creative circumstance or whatever. But at the very high level, it's also cool to have all those powerful abilities, because then you feel like you're king shit on turnabout,
Yeah.
Yes.
as Robbie would say.
You've culminated your character, right? It's the difference between when Captain Marvelous started, and he had to use his wits and his wiles to steal a dinghy,
Mm-hmm.
and then the difference between that and like I don't even know what's another thing we've done. Like another character, like maybe Neo, and he has this whole. He's just kind of doing stuff at this point. Like,
Yeah.
I started an evil church, and I have a bunch of followers, and I'm going to start, like, I guess, sacrificing orphans. I don't know.
I don't know.
Just because he has so much power, he basically doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of it, man.
Mhm.
Then you do get those players who, like, I know what I'm doing with my power. I'm going to do this and this and this. And it can almost, like, derail a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I figured... Because that's kind of how Ben's campaigns were. Was he'd start something and then somebody would just go off the wall. Because I imagine that's how Tarog and Vin were.
Basically, as far as I had seen.
Yeah. Because Vin was the type of character that would be like, oh, I run up and I stab it. It takes 100 d6.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, God! Like, nothing survived Vin. Ever.
That's how basically, like, the whole wish spell works in a nutshell, is that it changes reality
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
at a win.
Yeah.
He didn't even have Wish, man. He
I know,
was a
and-
Hexblade Rogue.
And I'm just saying, for example,
He
like,
was
that's
a
how much
wish.
they can.
He was a wish and a knife.
Yeah, a Wish and a knife.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, like that's even that thing right there was a indictment of how hard it is to like get a challenge for those players. Where that whole thing, like, at least the little bit I played with them, was set up as, all right, you guys need to go topple a house in a drow city. It's like, and they went, okay, we can do that. It's like that should be something where you go, are you fucking kidding me?
This is crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm
go
not doing
fight
that.
these people. It's like,
I don't want
that's-
to go to Manzo Baron's on.
yeah, they're like, we're gonna sneak into a city of drow and then assassinate all of them and get away.
I'm just saying, if you let me set up like a drow world, man, they are not getting in there. They are not getting away.
Fuck you. No, they're not. Like the easiest thing I would do is, like, there are spiders everywhere, and if somebody like that they don't recognize, they scurry and they go find somebody to tell.
Yeah. Oh, matron mother, there's a couple dudes walking around by themselves.
Yeah.
Or even a
Oh.
spider can see it.
They're my new
Oh, on the
slaves
wall.
now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feed you to my giant spider.
Mhm.
Naff, naff, naff.
I don't know if this is like derailing the conversation that much,
Don't worry
but
about that.
I was just curious, like, when you reach that high level, like 20,
Mhm.
like 17 through 20, why do you not be evil
Because
when you have all that power
you
compared to the common man?
Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility, and
It's
my
not-
character is responsible. But you look like you're about to say something.
It's fine. I'll finish the thought later. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's the thing of, like, what is your character's motivation?
Mhm.
If at that point he has, like, succeeded and done his end tier goal, then that might be a more valid question.
Mm.
But say like Exia, he, even when he got that high level, his thing was like, I want to free the world of
Yeah.
evil and tyranny. He's never gonna succeed with that unless he becomes evil. But he's not going to succeed with that, even if he becomes evil.
Yeah.
Uh,
And, I mean, if you think about it, by that logic, then every paladin would become an evil paladin.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't want that, especially if you take, like, let's say you take 5 and you take the whatever the justice one is, where you're like, I stand to uphold truth and justice, and I will smite evil because they are evil and stuff. You know what I mean? It just doesn't fit your character.
It does kind of go back to what I was saying, like, you need to give them a goal and a reason why they wouldn't do that. Because I've seen plenty of, like, even when they're like, oh, my character's chaotic good, it's like, not really. Your truth's really not that good.
No.
That's what I was like. That's why I said earlier. Like the DM really needs to give them a purpose.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Are you actually like? Is your guy just running around?
Yeah, the guy who can cast a wish and do whatever he wants, he should have some kind of purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he needs infinite money, then why not just wish for infinite money? But lo and behold, that all comes from the citizens nearby.
Yeah, or something like that.
They don't need that money.
They're barely using it.
They're barely using it. No, but, and that's like, I feel like everybody always wants to have the high-level rogue and the high-level whatever, but, like, what are some characters that you have seen that were high-level that you didn't think? Like, let's compare the wizard to the high-level fighter. How about that?
What about him?
Like,
The fucking wizard's gonna take
Oh,
out
yeah.
his butthole and poop all over that fighter
yeah.
because the fighter has nothing. Like, especially in 3rd edition, 3.5, or in 5th edition, I haven't gotten to see that high level character. But in 3.5, it's like there's nothing. That wizard's going to cast a few protections on him, and then he's going to cast every 9th level spell and keep going down the list until that fighter is not there anymore.
Which, he has 10,000 spells by now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
That fighter swings a sword really hard, that's it.
I think in 5th, barbarians can get like resistances to everything other than psychic.
Yeah, they
damage
can.
Mm-hmm.
or something.
If they
like
take I'm pretty sure they have to take the totem of the bear.
that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like at a certain point, I think isn't it usually like the fighter seems a bit stronger at first.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
They even out.
Early
Yeah.
tiers. It's
They
like
always
taking a 2-level dip into fighter or like 3 or 4-level dip into fighter is excellent. Doesn't matter what edition you're playing. That is like it can just help you set up your character so much.
Yeah, it's always the fighter starts out good and kind of just plateaus from there, whereas the wizard gets exponentially better. And it kind of makes sense within the story of how D&D works. Like you start off, I know how to cast this little trick. And the longer your guy is around, the more stuff he learns. He learns how to affect reality itself. Whereas fighter can only be so good at swinging a sword.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. He gets a little bit better doing that one thing.
Yeah.
He's gonna need some magic items.
Yeah.
To compare to the magic caster. Even then, it's gonna be a struggle.
Which is why once Neo became such a high level threat, he had to be taken out. And I literally had 4 contingencies on how to do that. Because yes, I had 4 things.
He had no hope.
He had no hope because he had to be stopped.
Yeah.
He is utterly evil and he is utterly powerful. And he has now starting corrupting other players.
Yeah.
And he is threatening to destroy the campaign.
Yeah.
And you can bring down the wrath of the DM. Either way, he was always doomed because he was going to be a Scion and a Scion Hunter.
Yeah.
Scion hunting campaign. So he had to go down eventually. He's just lucky he became such a compelling and interesting character that I didn't want to just be like, and he's done. Bye.
Yeah.
And he's done.
But I had the Annulus, which is a magic ring that utterly destroys anything that's psiotic. Then will completely shut down anything they want. Oh, you want to try to run? Dimensional Anchor.
Dimensional Anchor.
Oh, you want to try to cast a spell? Catapsy. Oh, you just want to try to fight me? Well, guess what? This thing can just disintegrate you. And it did. But it didn't do it to him. Because he decided to give up. Because I also gave him the out of being able to just drink a poison and kill himself. Put himself into a coma, but same difference.
Yeah.
I had the players there. Hopefully they would just kick his ass. And then, maybe there wasn't a 4th one. But either way, that's what you have to do
Yeah.
when you have such a high level character. Like, you don't want to just hand wave and say, someone kills him. You want to give him some dignity. And once you've gotten to high level once you get in such high level, you've got to find ways to control.
You definitely got to end characters with like some kind of closure.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they survive at the end or die at the end.
Yeah, it's always hard too, especially when some characters ends as just I ate a bad piece of meat.
Yep.
It's like I've lived for 40 years. My character is 20th level. He's fought dragons and demons and half gods, and I ate a bad piece of meat.
And I died. I failed my fortitude save.
It's always such a balance, especially at high levels, because most of the time how'd your guy die? Oh, well, we were fighting 6,000 orcs because we thought we could.
Yeah.
And we mostly won, except my guy he just didn't have enough hit points, so we died.
Yep.
And that was it.
That was all.
It happens, man.
Womp womp.
And that's the story of that guy. And that's the story of this video. Hopefully you found out how rough it can be being king shit of Turd Mountain.
Oh yeah.
And
heavy lies the crown.
We will talk more about your favorite games and our favorite moments on the next DiceCasters episode.